I don't know what I was thinking. I just dove in and went for it. What a mistake. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing this eyeshadow look using the two Christmas palettes from Oden's Eye, and I want to talk to you guys about some ideas that I'm having for year-end / Christmas themed kinds of videos. At the end of the day, I can do this without a camera in front of me, but the videos that I make are also for you, the viewer. So I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback as far as some of my ideas. So if you're interested in any of that, then just keep watching. Alright guys, I'm going to start with some lip oil on my lips because they're dry, and this is the ColourPop lip oil in the shade Hey. Everything that I'm using is linked or mentioned down below in the description box. I'll be priming my eyes with the Glam Light Icing Primer. Let me show you what I was going to do for the eye look. I wanted to use these two palettes because they're just so amazing together. I wanted to use a purple matte with this shimmer over here. This is the multi-chrome in the palette. It's called Elf Wish and it's green, pink, gold. But there's not actually a very good purple matte or a deep purple matte in the Christmas Eve. It has two dark blues, and I was thinking it had a dark purple, but it doesn't. It has this one here, which is a mid-tone gray purple. So perhaps I'll use that. I'm not sure how the look is going to turn out. I don't know. I also wanted to show you guys a couple of new palettes that are in my collection. Let me show them to you quickly and then we'll get to the eye look. There are 3 new palettes in my collection. One of them was given to me by a subscriber. She's been a subscriber for ages. We started chatting on Instagram and now we Marco Polo back and forth, and she was sneaky. She was very sly. She said, "Oh, Rachel, I'm getting a head start on my Christmas cards. Can I have your address?" So I was like, sure, no problem. You know, I sent her my address. Next thing you know, this shows up in my mailbox. This is the Nomad America's Parks palette. Apparently she had found out that I wanted it, found a listing, got a good deal on it, and had it shipped to me. So she's very sweet, and I am very grateful for such thoughtful people in my life, honestly. This is a palette I've had my eye on for quite some time. It's been discontinued by Nomad. It is really pretty. I think it's a very, very interesting color story, and this absolutely would have featured in my recent Neutrals with a Twist video. I do wish that this palette had one very, very deep matte. It's funny because Angelica Nyqvist, when she, I think in her most recent Nomad ranking video, she said that this might actually be in the top 3 if it had a deep, deep matte, and I completely agree with her. The color story is so unique. You can go neutral, you can go colorful, you can go soft or bold, or, you know, there are various options, but it is kind of lacking a very deep matte. However, it's pretty nonetheless. So I've used this a few times. The looks will be featured in my upcoming While I Was Out video, and it's really pretty, and I'm so thankful to my subscriber for her generosity. The other 2 palettes are a set, and let me just show them to you. These are the Aura and Envy palettes from Ace Beauté. I know, you can come for me now. It's official, you can come for me, because how many times did I say I wanted this Envy palette, but I don't need it. I have the Lure palette, I have Michaela Pot 2, I had Ace Beauté's Oceanic. I don't need the Lure palette or the Envy palette, right? I don't need it, I don't need it, I don't need it. But I love it. This palette is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love these colors, and honestly, this replaces my Oceanic in better formula, because this is the new formulation and my Oceanic was the old. It's beautiful. It's also a little bit better, I think, than Oceanic, because Oceanic didn't have the mustardy, brown, and burgundy tones. So it's smaller, a bit more compact, more curated, and to my preference as far as the formula and the color story overall. It's absolutely beautiful, honestly. And then here is the Aura palette. These were a set together, the Cosmic collection from Ace Beauté. They were released together, and I was smitten with the photos, honestly. And when I saw people's videos, I thought, oh, they're so great, but I kept talking myself out of them. Secondhand. I get almost everything secondhand, and I'm just really excited about them, honestly. So those are the newest palettes in my collection. I didn't have enough to warrant an entire video. Let's zoom in now and get started with today's look and talk about some Christmas ideas. I would like to come up with some sort of idea to do over the holiday season, something that's fun and sort of holiday or Christmas themed, but isn't overwhelming as far as a time commitment or, you know, a 25 days of, because I might not be able to fulfill that kind of time commitment with my family responsibilities. And I like doing the Christmassy themes. In fact, last year I had a lot of really great Christmas or year-end videos. I intend to do a lot of those as well. But I don't know, I was trying to come up with some ideas. What could I do for the holiday season? Something that was a bit extra or special, also fun, on theme, but without being a huge time commitment that would stress me out or frustrate me. All right, so let's get going. In the Christmas Eve palette, I'm picking up the shade Nowhere. This is a medium, kind of loose blending brush, and I'm gonna put this in my, I guess, my entire crease. Why not? I was hoping that there would be more of a true purple matte in this palette, but there's not. So it's all right. I'll just work, you know, make do without it. Let me know if you like any of these ideas. I haven't decided on any of them because not one has yet struck me as, ooh, that could be fun, you know? I had one idea that perhaps it would be fun to choose a word, such as holidays or merry or Christmas, you know?
Something kind of obvious.
If I chose the word holidays, the first video would be only using shadows that start with the letter H. The second video would be only using shadows that start with the letter O. And, you know, spell out the word with the shadows. That would give me a great opportunity to shop my entire collection because I would have to go through all of my palettes to find names with those letters. So that could be a lot of fun. It kind of reminded me of, what is it, like the A to Z panning project or something like that. That's sort of what it made me think of. And I thought that could be fun. Now I'm picking up the shade Christmas Eve with the B3 from Blend Bunny, and I'm going to use this in my outer corner here. I'll try to keep a bit of a diagonal, I think, just because that's the shape that I like. Another idea that I had was to take the 12 days of Christmas, you know, maybe just do 12 Christmas related uploads somehow, or maybe take other themes from the Christmas season and play into them with my eye looks. Somebody had suggested that perhaps I could do the 12 days of Christmas and try to do an eye look around each of the gifts, you know, 2 turtle doves sort of thing. Or perhaps I could do food themed looks. Today we're doing cranberry sauce. Tomorrow we're going to do turkey and stuffing. I'm spitballing here. I would really enjoy hearing what you guys think if you have any ideas or suggestions, because I try to do some pre-filming. I try to be ahead of myself by about a week so that I'm not feeling stressed, but I am feeling a little bit of pressure to always be creating. And I do want to stay ahead of myself where I'm able to upload content regularly, even if my life at that moment is, you know, maybe I'm not able to upload, but I have videos in the queue. And I know that a lot of YouTubers will do a bunch of videos, like daily uploads in December. I am not going to commit to that. This is just a side thing for me. I don't have the time to be able to commit to daily uploads. If that happens, that's great. And what that means is that I did have the time months leading up to Christmas to film extra videos and then slot them out later in the year. But I'm not going to commit to it because I might not be able to fulfill. And that just sounds like a way to take a hobby that is well loved and turn it into a stress point for me. I'm in the Merry Christmas now, and I've picked up the shade Elf Wish on a flat brush. This picked up a lot. I did spray my brush, and basically I'm going to lay this on the rest of the lid space. I want to see how it works with the matte colors that I laid down. We'll see. No idea. There is, oh, look at that color. Oh, it's so, so stunning. Remember, this is multi-chrome. It's got a lot of gold, green, and pink in it. And I really like, for my own personal preferences, I like mid or light tone shimmers. I almost never use really dark shimmers unless I'm doing a dark smoky look where I just cover the lid in a dark shimmer and it works with a bunch of darker mattes. Or if I've got a light shimmer and a really dark matte, like what I'm going to do today, I'll use a darker shimmer to bridge the gap. But I just don't care for dark shimmers that much. I love bright shimmers. They make me happy. So here's Elf Wish, and it's lovely. Now I do have a palette pull-in, and I think that's what I'm going to pick up now. My palette is the Paradise Islands from Nomad Cosmetics, and according to my notes, so today I'm on shade number 14. Now, shade number 14 is this one right here. This is a mid-tone blue-purple sort of shimmer. So I think that's actually going to bridge nicely into the blue mattes. I'm just not sure how it's going to work with the Elf Wish shade. So I picked it up on that same flat brush, and I'm tapping it basically on top of the edge of the purple matte. And then with the other side of my flat brush, which has Elf Wish on it a little bit, I'm dragging Elf Wish over onto the blue. So the shimmers will work together pretty smoothly. And I think I'll go back into Elf Wish and pick up more of it. And clean off my brush a bit, pick up more Elf Wish and drag that over top of the blue, because I don't want the blue to be the primary color in the look. It's just helping bridge the gap into the next shade. And I don't want all of Elf Wish on my lid to be tainted or modified even by that blue shimmer, so I'm trying to keep it in this area without dragging the blue too far over as well. It's a balancing act. And I'm now just realizing I forgot to tell you I did the same 2 colors in matte on my lower lash line. So I'm just tapping over the mattes again so that the shimmer doesn't carry all the way to the edge of my lid. Okay, so that's looking pretty. I think in no way does it work with my shirt, except for the hints of undertone, like the greenish in the Elf Wish shades. So I'm gonna play up my shirt colors a little bit by grabbing the shade New Leaf on that same Blend Bunny brush. New Leaf, I will put in my inner corner. Oh, that is way too dark in my inner corner. That is way too dark. Okay, let's put that on the lower lash line. I don't know what I was thinking. I just dove in and went for it. What a mistake. I mean, it is a pretty shade, but it is not at all okay for my inner corner. Let me get something to clean that up. I'll be right back. Okay, so that was a disastrous choice. What I did, I couldn't do it on camera, but I went to my bathroom and got a tissue and put some micellar water on it and just rolled it into sort of a finer tip. I really ought to have Q-tips downstairs. Anyway, I used that to clean up the inner corner. So I'm taking a much finer brush, going into New Leaf again, but I'm just gonna contain this in the lower lash line instead. I do not want it on my inner corner, and I want it in a finer space. That other brush was too large for my lower lash line. So this is New Leaf still, but I'm gonna stop it right here. I need something much lighter for my inner corner. In the Merry Christmas palette, there's a shade called Ice Crystal. I'm really enjoying a matte inner corner. So here's Ice Crystal. That's better. A matte inner corner I find to be more flattering and softer. It's not quite as bright, and when you use shimmers, whether or not they're duo or multi-chromes, sometimes the shimmer, simply by being a shimmer, is going to catch the light in different ways, which is why it looks so beautiful on the lid space. But if you put it at the inner corner, what happens is, with the bridge of the nose casting its own sort of shadow, and then the overhang of the skull structure, you know, your bone right here, that's also casting a shadow. It can make the light be weird on a shimmer. So you put a shimmer at your inner corner and all of a sudden you're bringing in different plays with the light, and that may or may not be a flattering thing. So I am loving a matte inner corner because it's just very soft and flattering, and it doesn't do weird things with the light. All it does is brighten up the center of the face. When I was in the bathroom looking close at the mirror trying to clean up my mistake, I did get a really good view of the way the shimmers were playing into each other over here, which I'm not seeing in this light right now, but hopefully when I take the close-up and I insert it in the video at the end, you guys will see that shift. It's nice. I'm just going back into my two purple and blue mattes because, again, they kind of got messed up when I was correcting that mistake. So another thought that I had for the holiday season was to just do a week or maybe even 2 weeks using only these Merry Christmas palettes from Oden. I think 2 weeks might be a lot. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. Let me know if you really like any of these ideas, or if you have any ideas of your own. I want to have some fun, do a little theming, do holiday sorts of things, year-end sorts of things, but not take the focus off of what Christmas is actually about. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. So here is the look all said and done. I can't wait to show you guys the close-up. I really hope that my camera is able to capture the different shifts that I see between the multi-chrome from the Oden palette and the palette Poland from Paradise Islands. Let me tell you what I did to finish off the look. In my waterline, I went with green because I didn't have enough in my eye look tying down into the sage green of my shirt. So I thought bringing in this Aglow shade from ColourPop's Creme Gel Liners would bring in just a little bit more green and hopefully play off of the green tint in the Oden multi-chrome. On my lips, I've got two different things. I have the glowing lip from ColourPop. The shade is Mid-Century, and I decided to top it with a new purchase. This is the NYX Butter Gloss. This is the black. It's called Licorice. I have been playing with dark, more moody lip colors. You'll see more of that in my upcoming While I Was Out video, but suffice it to say, I took a little bit of this, just dabbed on a few little dots on top of the glowing lip from ColourPop, you know, worked it all together, and I got this darker version of that shade. So I think that's pretty. On my face, I used the bronzer from Physicians Formula. It's linked along with everything down below. And here is the Luminoso Blush 901 from Milani. I love this one. I think that this is like the popular Milani blush. I'm not entirely sure, but this is a fantastic peach color, and I've discovered that I like peach blush on myself much more than pink blushes or red blushes. I don't do foundation or anything on my whole face, hardly ever. My face naturally has differences in pigmentation or acne or blemishes or whatever. It's not a clear canvas. So adding in a red or pink blush just makes me look more red-faced, whereas adding in a peach blush seems to tone down the underlying discolorations of my natural skin and brings in a bit of color. I really like a peach blush on myself. That's That's everything. That's everything that I'm wearing. I have some mascara on. I didn't do anything else on the eyes. I hope you have enjoyed this look. Honestly, it's not quite what I was planning, but I still like it. I was thinking that the multi-chrome from the Merry Christmas palette would pull a bit more green, especially pairing it with the purple tones. I wasn't expecting it to pull quite as gold as it did. And that does surprise me because in the pan it looks really green, but then when you use it, you see it's got a lot of gold and pink in it. It's just such a fun color. It's a standout. Amazing, beautiful, beautiful shimmer. So creamy, so pigmented, works and glides on like butter. It right away will give you amazing payoff. Here's the result. And I like it a lot. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for being with me here today. Remember to let me know in the comments what sort of Christmas ideas do you have, or did you like any of my suggestions? I'd love to get your feedback. I appreciate you so much for being with me. I hope you will consider liking and subscribing if you haven't yet and you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you again in my next one. Bye!